Hello, I'm Laura McHarrie at The Hidden Edge with another tea break tip on how to use business models and tools to help you manage your growing business. Today, we're looking at the best selling model. Kind of goes without saying why this would be useful. BEST is an acronym. It stands for buyers, events, signals, and techniques. You might have read in Gerber's book on the E-myth that all processes should be systemised. Hardings model, I believe, is one of the best, excuse the pun, models for breaking down the sales process in order to build one that works for your business. And if you haven't already watched the video on portal projects, you might want to look at that one first, as this is the start of your journey. But let's have a look at what the model looks like. The model starts with selling the first service. The first assignment can be for almost any of the services a firm offers. For most, however, there are a small number of services that their clients are most likely to buy initially, which then lead on to the add-on sales. These portal projects are often, but not always, some kind of diagnostic. It goes without saying, of course, that the professional must make an excellent first impression. But whilst jumping through hoops, it's also important that the professional keeps his or her eye out for the other buyers that they need to nurture through attending or creating events. The kind of events that are required will depend on your business model. All events will include some kind of fact-finding and review meetings. At events, professionals are looking for signals. There are two different kinds of signals, macro and micro. Macro signals are those major changes to an organisation. They include things like mergers and acquisitions, the appointment of a new member in the management team, a major stock price change. Micro signals are specific to the firm itself, and they are usually found present in the casual conversations where staff bemoans an issue. Finally, signals are surfaced by using techniques. These are the tactics that a professional uses to raise a signal, to get to an event, and ultimately to get commitment for additional work. The best selling model looks simple and in principle is pretty straightforward, but there's a lot to be looking out for. So let's visit the checklist. We sell to people, not companies. If we know enough buyers and the right buyers in companies that we're targeting, the chances are that we can sell additional work. So we're looking for helpful sponsors, people that have a natural disposition to sponsor and to be helpful to you. The functional buyers are those that work in specific areas of the business, while cross-functional buyers are those that work in multidisciplines. The bridges are those people that have an opportunity to open doors for you in different functions in the organisation. It's quite important to look at the right level of buyer. It isn't always necessarily the person at the top that you need to engage, because quite often services are purchased at a mid-level that allows you to get in and do some additional work in other areas, in other functions. And don't forget the rising stars. These guys may not necessarily be with the firm for that long, but where they move on to could also open doors for you at a later date in another firm. Events. There's a lot in this list. Events and techniques we want to spend a little bit more time on. Fact-finding. This is a meeting to learn about the client's issues and needs. It can be part of a larger service or larger sales process. These are good places to start or further develop a relationship and identify signals from clients for a need for more services. Update and review. A meeting to inform the client about recently completed work and plans for coming weeks, and to receive the client's feedback. Strategizing and planning. A meeting to determine a course of action, weighing in its strengths and weaknesses. Idea generation and consensus building. A meeting to generate ideas by brainstorming, or to obtain a company's commitment to a course of action. Negotiating. A meeting to negotiate something on behalf of the client. The client must be present for this kind of event if it's to help you with cross-selling. Travel. A trip with a client to conduct a site visit or interview people or negotiate with them as required by the work that you've been hired to do. Client education. A meeting or workshop to inform clients about something that they would benefit from knowing. Celebrations. An event marking the successful completion of a major task. Drop-bys. A casual meeting with a client made simply because you're going to be in the area on other business. Sales. Meetings to advance or make a sale. These can be initiated by either you or by the client. They range from cold calls to introducing yourself and your services to responding to a client's request for help with a specific issue. Social. A gathering to have fun or to make social contribution. And professional. An association meeting to stay abreast of issues of importance to a profession or an industry or to a network. Signals. We've already touched on signals. Things like mergers and acquisitions, business restructuring, major change in growth rates, appointments of new management team, changes in regulations, relocations, possibly business entry into new markets. Those are the macro signals that are quite easy to identify. Other micro signals are those that you'll find out on the grapevine. And then, of course, techniques. Asking for sponsorship. Asking a contact to introduce you to someone else you want to meet or to advocate for your firm to do a specific assignment. Pedestal selling. Talking about a colleague's abilities as if you were putting them on a pedestal to increase the client's desire to meet them and to work with them. Presumptive selling. Acting as if it is presumed that something will happen, such as a meeting with a contact that you want to get to know as part of a current assignment. Questioning. Asking clients questions that help them better understand the issues that they face and help build their commitment to taking action on those issues. Seeding ideas. Stimulating a client's thinking by introducing an idea. Helping a client understand issues that cut through functional or business lines with his or her organisation. That was bridging, by the way. Business case. Showing why a line of action makes sense from a business perspective, often but not always supported by a simple financial model. Benchmarking, showing how a client compares to other firms and showing opportunities for improvement. And selling the vision, helping a client see a desired future state and how they can go about obtaining it. So there you are. That is one hell of a checklist. Do download it from the Hidden Edge website. Please do share your stories of what has worked well for you. I'm building a portfolio of case studies and would love to include things that have worked well for you in your business as you've grown. Well, that's it from me. Until next tea break time, enjoy.